Hello, and welcome to the announcement of the winners of the Europe Direct Soapbox 2022 competition for the Southeast region, which this year has as its theme, Is Europe Listening to Its Young People? My name is Gerard Arthurs, and I lecture in International Relations and Politics at the Southeast Technological University. And I, along with my fellow judges, acclaimed author and illustrator Sarah Bowie, and Jim Lenane of the Waterford City Council, we had the distinct pleasure of viewing and listening to the many entrants across the Southeast region in the two categories of 16 and under and 17 and over. The overwhelmingly positive attitude of successive generations of Irish people toward Europe and the European Union in particular has fueled our engagement with the single market, affording many opportunities to younger people through the Erasmus programme, as well as the right to live, travel and work across our fellow member states, while also attracting investment into our towns and cities across the country. As January 2023 marks the 50th anniversary of Ireland joining the European Union, we have grown from being one of the poorest members to become one of the wealthier in terms of GDP per capita. But, of course, Europe is about so much more than markets and GDP. Each new generation must be encouraged to engage with and to renew our relationship with the EU. It must never be taken for granted. And to this end, it is vital that we listen to, but also, and perhaps more importantly, act upon the voices of our younger generation coming through. In the year in which the Conference on the Future of Europe produced a major report, it is a very timely opportunity for our citizens and our younger citizens to have their voice heard. The standard of entries was exceptionally high, making the judging process a challenging, but also a very rewarding, informative, and encouraging exercise. The judges would like to thank all who took the time to research, record, and to submit their entries. Your efforts give us reassurance that your generation will not fail to engage with and to critique the policies and actions that will shape the world in which we all have to share. We would also like to thank and to acknowledge the teachers who helped facilitate the entries, and also to those in the higher age category who took the time and effort to participate. The judges were asked to assess the submissions along a number of key criteria. Number one, the content and evidence of preparation, including knowledge of the subject. Number two, the presentation and delivery, including adherence to the time limit of 3 minutes. Number three, structure and clarity. Number four, the overall effectiveness and impact of the presentation. And after much deliberation, we have decided that the winners are the following. In the 16 and under category, the winner is Aoife O'Connor, a transition year student from Our Lady of Mercy Secondary School, Waterford, and with special mentions for Lexi Jordan, Holly Kiley, and Cuileán O'Faolain. The winner in the 17 and over category is Aidan Kyo, and with special mention for Piotr Jedril. We would once again like to thank all those who took the courage and commitment to participate, and to wish the winners the very best in the next stage of the Soapbox competition for 2022. Thank you and good luck.
Our anxiety does not empty tomorrow of its sorrows, but only empties today of its strengths. This is a quote by a man named C.H. Spurgeon, who outlines the effects of anxiety and its hardships. Anxiety the youth of Europe and the world feel today for causes out of their grasp, problems we may try our hardest to solve, but with what help? My name is Aoife O'Connor. I am a 16-year-old transition year student in Waterford City, Ireland. Like many others my age, I can tend to feel anxious often, whether it's over my school studies, self-view, or relationships with others around me. These are normal, understandable things to feel worried about, and there are easy, accessible ways to ease the severity of these emotions. Europe. When I think of Europe, I think of three words. The first being opportunity. In Europe, there's a great opportunity for people struggling to move past mental health problems, solutions and help for people having hardships to do with mental health, especially anxiety, and empathy for those struggling. Europe takes pride in having therapy centres and helplines, though they are slim to none outside of office hours, to help these people, although waiting lists are never ending and there are gaps in services for our youth in comparison to the services for adults. But I want to ask, what help do Europe provide for young people struggling with problems that will affect their futures? In Ireland, 4 out of 10 teenagers have reported symptoms of depression and anxiety. The next word I think of is hope. Hope for new memories, new friendships, new cultures, and new laughs. Though hope has also been lost. To have friends be distraught that they have to give up a dream college course because Ireland's housing crisis has left them without 4 walls and a roof over their head only raises my anxiety so much higher. To have heard stories of college students camping outside their universities as they no longer can get accommodation, some sitting in their cars as they are much warmer there than in the homes they can't afford to heat. This only raises my anxiety even higher. That links into my next word, home. Europe and Ireland is a home that I love and a home I want to stay in, though I wonder, will I ever have to say goodbye? When my anxieties are not listened to and my pleas are not answered, it's a home I may have to flee. How could anyone feel at ease in today's world? The EU say that 2022 is the European Year of Youth, shining a light on the importance of European youth to build a better future, more sustainable, inclusive, beautiful, and peaceful. The voices of today are the leaders of the future who will eventually raise the children of the future. So it's vital that the young people of Europe are adhered to by the higher powers in the EU before it's too late and our future generation will end up emigrating outside of Europe. So when I'm asked, is Europe listening to its young people, I will answer no. No, they do not empathise enough with the panic of the rising cost of living. They do not welcome enough solutions when students are without accommodation in Ireland. They do not cater enough help for people crumbling under never-ending kitchen bills. In 20 years, when I can hopefully ask my children what 3 words they associate with Europe, I'll hope they reply with a special trio: opportunity, hope, and home. And when I quiz them on why, I want the answers to make me feel proud. I want them to have an opportunity, the opportunity to have a wanted voice in society. I want them to say hope, hope for a bright future that they have a say in. And I want them to say home, a home they love as much as I did, one that they are loved in, and one that they love too. When I think of Europe, I think of 3 words: one final chance.
The European Union hears the voices of its young people, but they do not listen. Time and time again, we the future of Europe have begged for change and protested to achieve acknowledgement, of which all efforts have fallen on deaf ears. These failures were highlighting the EU's battle with climate change and how the countries in the EU dealt with Ukrainian refugees. We are seen to be heard, seen to be acknowledged, but in the end our efforts come to no avail. So why is the EU failing its young people? Do European leaders want to be perceived as do-gooders when really a much different plan is unfolding? And what can Europe do to engage more with young people? Well, the first question is a difficult one. There are many contributing factors to the EU's lack of communication and action. The EU, as member states, do organise meetings targeted at young people, and we are given a chance to voice their concerns. But in most, if not all cases, there is no further action. There's no genuine follow-up, and therefore there's no serious change. In retrospect, the governments of the EU have been very busy dealing with the COVID-19 pandemic, the hysteria of the war in Ukraine, and the overwhelming energy crisis. Amongst all these global challenges, the voice of the youth is drowned out. We have fallen on the priority list, and the effects are devastating. The evidence of such is all around us. For instance, upon return to college this year, thousands of Irish students found it near impossible to secure accommodation. And if they did, it was at extortionate expense. Of course, the accommodation was filled by Ukrainian refugees, a valiant effort by the government. But did the government plan for this commitment? Did the government consult students or ensure accommodations will be available? No, they did not. Instead, they refused to acknowledge their fault. In fact, Micheál Martin said verbatim, "We're acutely aware of it and there are no easy answers. Easy answers or not, these answers are required." There was no follow-up to the statement. These governments are too hard-pressed, obliging to EU policies that do not respect the position of the country at that time. We, as young people, are constantly advised to live within our means. Perhaps it's time the EU follows such a policy themselves, instead of tackling problems outside of control and focus more on internal development. So what can the EU do about this? The youth of Europe are a bank of ideas. I suggest a Department of Youth should be established in each EU member state. Similar to the Department of Finance, Health, etc., a department designed to engage with young people via schools and social media. A specific Minister of Youth will be elected to represent the interests of young people. This would create a direct line for us to access and cooperate with our governments. Similarly, the EU will engage seriously with these departments, and that's when we will begin to see serious change. This would ensure that there is constant representation of the youth of Europe and would implement our interests into all decisions made by the government. Lastly, it is ironic that this project, addressing the EU's engagement with young people, will itself come to no avail, whether I win or not. After this competition, this video will probably be lost, and so too will all the videos sent in. The ideas will be acknowledged, but not applied. This vicious cycle will continue if the youth are not heard and our ideas are lost.